Hey, I'm Bree, and you're watching I have a fancy new introduction because I am a fancy new me. Tomorrow is the first day of 2016 and this video is full of reckless positivity and overly optimistic New Year's resolutions. Also, before I jump into my visionary goals for 2016, a little bit of exciting news to share, which is that last week I found out that I will be going to New York City for 3 weeks in February to intern with one of Australia's biggest fashion bloggers for New York Fashion Week. Good parts and bad parts. Good parts is that I think I'm going to learn a ton, not only about the fashion side of Fashion Week, but I'm really interested in how bloggers run their businesses, and considering most of them are female entrepreneurs and killing it with these sort of online platforms that didn't exist 10 years ago. I think that's going to be fascinating. Bad bit is that it costs many dollars to go to New York City. It is a little bit of a ridiculous expense to be outlaying at the beginning of a year like mine, when, you know, they're like, I need to be really frugal. But I have been saving all year, working full-time saving, so that I would be able to take an opportunity if it presented itself. And this is exactly that kind of situation that I don't want to say no to because of money. Good thing is that I convinced Anna, the art director, graphic designer for Hot Chicks with Big Brains, to come with me. So now it's like Hot Chicks with Big Brains is hitting New York City for Fashion Week. Huge deal. We are super excited. Bad news, really, is that we get back, Anna and I, from New York City 10 days before the launch date of issue 1 of Hot Chicks with Big Brains. Some would say that's absurd, even borderline maniacal, but we can do it. We've been running around this week and we've started to get some quotes from printers, which is really exciting. We are currently posting off orders. Look at all the pretty orders. So thank you to the good mates of ours who have bought t-shirts and tote bags already. It's really exciting. We're making them really pretty when we send them out. Also, lol's learning curve. Did the big launch announcement of the online shop, and then I was like looking at the stats and we hadn't made any sales and it had been like 3 or 4 days, and I was like, but hundreds of people are viewing like it. You know, like how come nobody bought anything? And I realized I hadn't linked the PayPal account. So like when you went to the cart and you had something in your cart, there was just no option to pay. And one of my mates contacted me being like, I tried twice now. Is the site working? And I was like, oh. So it's fixed now, which is good, and we've had orders coming in since then. And I'm just so pumped to see these awesome chicks wearing our t-shirts and carrying our tote bags. It's going to be super awesome. So on that note, let's go look at Bree's goals and resolutions for 2016. Resolution/goal number 1. For the past 7 years, I have been using every single year a Moleskine weekly notebook diary. Look, it's simple, it's practical and effective, but it also represents me living 7 years of someone else's dream. What represents the future? Like holograms! I bought a My Goals 2016 holographic diary because it's all about goals. And it looks really nice, and I just needed a change, and I think it's going to be fabulous. And everything is changing for me in 2016 in a really huge, significant way. And yeah, sometimes it's silly to think that little symbolic things make a difference, but for me at the moment in this huge period of transition, so I don't care if it sounds silly to you, makes me feel good. Number 2, take care of my body. I remember reading this really awesome thing that Benjamin Law once wrote about how he like woke up every morning and like went for a swim because, you know, like healthy body, healthy mind. And I find that is also very relevant for myself, and sometimes I don't realize how relevant it is until I get in a rut with no exercise and eating really badly and drinking and smoking too much. And then my craft suffers. So, from the get-go, bought a fancy clear glass water bottle. Fill it with lemon slices. Bought a Groupon for a month of yoga classes. Bought a cheap yoga mat off eBay. Treat myself. Paint my nails more often. Goal / New Year's resolution 3. Get better at my online and social media presence. In 2013 and 14, I used to run a blog that I really loved, and it was just about fashion and about writing and about law, and it was just a place for me to, express myself. I took it down because I was a judge's associate. I'm going to start blogging again this year, and it's going to be really great. I'm really excited about that. And I always find it really interesting to see other people's workspaces and to get a little bit of an insight into other writers' lives. And I wish other writers made videos like this because I'm a real sticky beak, and one of the reasons I love interviewing women is because it's a really great excuse to get them to let me into their homes. Going to take more photos of what I do, take pride in my workplace, get into the habit of sharing my processes, because one of my favorite things so far is that all my interactions with the writing community have been wonderfully positive and everyone's really supportive and lovely. New Year's resolution / goal number 4 is I have a huge long list of places I want to get published. And they were all in one list, and then I was like, something's not really quite feeling right about this, and then I put them into 2 separate lists. And there's one really long list which I call commercial, which is places that I would, want to get paid for freelance work for like feature articles that I would write for them. And then I have one called creative, and that's like places that I would even consider writing for free because it's like a publication that is meaningful to me, who I would feel honored to have my work published in. So I have big long lists of those separately, and I look forward to maybe being able to tick some off throughout the year. Number 5, nearly finished. Tiana Templeman, my mentor, who you met in the last video, has given me some really great plans and ideas for spreadsheets, the way you manage your folders in your computer, and the way you track the pitches that you send out, and then the weeks that you need to go by before you follow up with those pitches, and all that kind of scheduling and organization stuff. I'm going to try and tie that into something that I learned from the legal profession, where they have a little horrendous, heinous thing called billable hours. And I'm not sure whether it's feasible for me to track the hours I spend on every single project for every single thing throughout the year, but I am going to try and track the hours that I spend, obviously like per job that's actually being paid, and also I am working on 2 very large projects. One's a novel and one's a non-fiction work, and I'm going to just start tracking the number of hours I spend on those from January the 1st, so that I can tell on an ongoing basis just how long I'm actually dedicating to those bigger projects that I'm really passionate about and want more time for, so I can hold myself accountable to whether or not I'm actually doing more of them. I would love to know how many hours some of my favorite writers took to write their masterpieces. Finally, I've lost count, but the last one is that I'm going to try and read more Australian women writers. Not an outlandish goal. So yeah, that's my 2016. Hopefully I've inspired you with some slightly outlandish goals so that maybe you come to some more realistic goals. For example, you can drink more water. It doesn't have to be lemon in it. See ya! That's what I